It'll be a shortened week in South Africa as far as local racing is concerned. It only starts on a Tuesday with the racing coming through from the Western Cape, and we are back at Kenilworth. But before we get into the nitty-gritties of racing this morning, let's talk about our handles. You can like us on Twitter or alternatively on WhatsApp. We would love to hear from you. We've just come out of another feature weekend here on the High Veld. Let's start off with a feature Triple Crown and a Triple Tiara. Do give us your thoughts and what you think could possibly go all the way. Can Sandringham Summit see out the Triple Crown, or can give me another see out of the Triple Tiara? But it was a great racing weekend, nonetheless. Right, we've got Mr. Del Marie with us this afternoon. He'll be flying solo, and he is going to let us know as to what to look out for and how we can make back on our losses, if indeed we had losses on the afternoon last week. Hindsight always an exact science, at least a punter-friendly weekend to a great extent, barring race number 5.
Now that was a little bit of a tricky event, Cecil, but it was a small field, a fillies and mares handicap, so, you know, some people say F&M stands for field and more. So if you went field, you got a great result with Magical Flight.
Highlight for you in brief?
It was great seeing Gimme Another come from so far back and run down a really well above average field in the manner in which she did it. So let's hope she trains on and
for me, the highlight being on course, seeing it live, the lead-in after Zeus's 10th win, it's really lifted up, and I hope the world saw those pictures after that lead-in. Nonetheless, let's get into race number 1, Daryl. This is the first of 8, and we're looking at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth welcomes you made juvenile plate for fillies, and it looks like a race that could be dominated by the Drakenstein owners and breeders of numbers 2. Dark Winter coming from a very strong form line, under 3 Symphony in White. This is a sibling to none other than Beach Bomb, who certainly blazed the trail, winning both the fillies, guineas, and the paddock stakes. Let's get to your thoughts. It is the first leg of the bipod.
I actually have to correct you, Cecil. Symphony in White is related to Snow Pilot.
Snow Pilot, my apologies. That is a Guineas winner. That's a male Guineas winner. My apologies. Thank you.
But the comment from the yard isn't very upbeat. In the front of the computer form, Candace says she will need the experience. The most positive comment from the unraced runners is number 8, Eureka Diamond. She's related to Forever Mine, trained by Mark de Kock.
That's right.
And
the mother was trained by Alec Laird. Amazing Grace.
That's correct, yeah. Now, Dark Winter, lovely debut against winners. Several winners from that form line, including the Michael Azzi filly. What was her name?
Gimme Fabulous.
Yes. And also Little Ballerina, trained by Candace Dawson.
Winning at 100 to 1 on midday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Banker the 2 in the opening leg of the bipod. She's got the experience.
Banker 2. Let's have a look at that bipod selection. And we're looking forward to a great week ahead. And this will get us off to a bright start. Around 15 to 20 as we broadcast, or at least record the show. It is Banker the 2. And then there's a banker in leg number 3. And that will be number 1, Counter Attack. It is the pool closing at 12:35. That is Tuesday, the 6th of February 2024. Race 2, due off at 1:10 will be the start of the place Accumulator. It's a race caper powered by Hollywood Bets, made in juvenile plate. It's over the 1,200 meters. No scratchings in race number 2. We do have scratchings from race 3 henceforth. Right, race number 2, Mr. Marie. Dean Kennemeyer, Golden Destiny, first time, a 2-year-old son of Rafif, out of a Karari mare, Spring Wonder. Now, as far as Rafif is concerned, certainly is pulling up trees as a sire of juveniles.
He's certainly stamped his mark as a sire, Cecil. He's related to, now Golden Destiny is related to Siberian Steel, played by Tony Peter, a lot of speed. Being by Rafif, and the comment in the front of the book says including exotics. So I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see him making a winning debut. Number 7 is probably the most upbeat from the first timers with regards to comments. Each Way Chance.
Another Rafif, huh?
Another Rafif. And then you got the race runner in One Stripe. Now, coming to the course, this horse had a bit of a reputation and found a lot of betting support on debut. His dam is laden with stamina, though. So if he's not looking for further already at this stage of his career, I think he could certainly get it right in his second start. I mean, the additional 200 meters is going to be favorable. And we've seen that form line being franked.
On midday, yeah?
Yeah, with Roman Agent winning
Yes.
again.
Yes.
So I've got healthy respect for one stripe. All I'm saying is if one of the other two, by Rafif, are well above average,
Yeah.
they've got more of a sprinting pedigree in my mind. So 6 horse to beat, respect for 1 and 7.
Right, let's see what you've done in the place accumulator, Mr. Marie. Just a reminder today, Mr. Marie is flying solo. Taking a bit of time off is Mr. Darren Burrows. Bank at the 6, that is certainly good enough to make it into that first 3. Could possibly win it the second time of asking. And then bank at the 1 counter attack, as was the case in the bipod, and then wide at the back. And hopefully we are still alive. We will be really looking for the roughest result to come at race number 8. The pool is closing with race 2 at 10 past 1, and that outlay is 216 rand. We're now on to race number 3, the first leg of the pick 6 on the Tuesday afternoon, and we've got 2 scratchings. A very important one come through this morning recently, and that is Iguguletu, and also scratched as the 7 Flash Lightning. So that obviously leaves us in the field of 5 runners. Now, the 1 counter-attack was a banker in the bipod, a banker in the PA. Now, let's ask our analyst, will it be a banker in the pick 6? With the adjusted betting, as I come to you, Mr. Marie, let me just have a quick look at some of the forecast betting for race number 3. And the 1, that is now at 11 to 10, 17 to 10 about the 6, Tam's S Knight. Tam S Knight, that is your second favorite. Was always short, but now even shortened with scratching.
Yeah, I've taken my chances and bank at counter attack, Cecil. I think he's more suitable to the distance than what Tam's Knight is. I watched Tam's Knight's later start. Now, he actually did extremely well to run second in that work rider event, because going through the 400, he came under pressure and it looked like he looked a bit one pace, but he rallied late, and there's no doubt the extra 200 meters is also going to be in his favor. But I get the feeling that he's looking for a mile. So being over 1200, being over 1000, and let me get this right. Being over 1000, I think he's going to be caught for speed. So I'm favoring number 1 of your counter attack. I was always in the opinion that this horse, or had the opinion that this horse is going to be better when gelded. And last time out, he proved just that. He was still in need of that start. And if you have a look at that race, it's actually a run better than what it appears on paper, because he gave that winner 6 kilograms. It was an open maiden. And Champagne Mac got away from the field, and he challenged, and then he just tired late. In that race, Cecil, behind him, a good few lengths behind him, close to 4 lengths in fact, was a horse called Dancing to the Light.
Yes.
Who came out and won his next start. So because this race is over 1,000 meters, I think counter attack will take some beating. Watch Tam's Knight when he goes a bit further in time to come.
Thank you so much. So we are going to have the 1 counter-attack banked in our third exotic of the afternoon. That is the pick 6 starting at 1:45 with the running of a Woodall Racing Syndicate, a maiden plate, and it's over the 1,000 meters. Let's just confirm that it is bank of the 1. And then in that penultimate leg, that's where we've gone pretty light as well. Race number 7, we've gone with numbers 3 and 4. They being My Flower Fate, that is Lucinda Woodruff, and number 4, Montalina. Seen a lot of that form line come up in recent race meetings, so that's certainly one to be on the right side of. It's an outlay of 1,248 rand. It is certainly decent outlays in our exotics, and that pool once again closes at 1:45. Daryl mentioned Open Maiden as he was discussing the virtues and the chances of the leading lights in race number 3. Well, we've got an Open Maiden. It's for fillies and mares over the 1,200 meters. Just the one change that has come through at this early stage, and it's the 11, Red Rose of Lancaster, and the colours of Sandringham Summit. That's of the breeders Fossfontein. Will race with the blinkers on. This will be a 7th outing. Let's hope that those blinkers have the desired effect, because you get the feeling there could be an improvement to come through from Red Rose of Lancaster. But as far as race number 4, an Open Maiden, Mr. Marie, 17 to 10 or thereabouts, the 7 Tequila Sky. is the anti-post forecast. Rigid Farik teams up with Mr. Andre Nel, rather, and Platinum Racing. They've been in decent form. He won the last race at Hollywood Bets Scottsdale yesterday afternoon, Richard.
Yes, he's riding a few winners in those sorts recently. Tequila Sky, Cecil, nice consistent form coming into this race. I actually think her better form is up the Kenilworth Straight compared to the Durbanville circuit. Travelled extremely well with the blinkers last time out. It looked like she was going to get it right and then just run down very late by a first timer who could actually be anything. She had Strata alongside her in that race. But that was over 1,000 meters. I don't think Strata is a 1,200 meter filly. I prefer over 1,000. That's my personal opinion. So despite the turnaround in weight, I'm going to say Tequila Sky confirms that form. Then I had a look at this race. You touched on it being an open maiden, which does really make it a bit more trickier. Now go to this number 2's form, Stealing the Thunder. Firstly, she's so well bred. I think she's really disappointed in that she hasn't quite lived up to some of her siblings or her dam, but she's lightly raced. Now in her second start, you can see she was 5 odd lengths behind Strata. In her third start, she was just over 2 lengths behind Strata. So she is making a bit of progress if you use Strata as the line-offs. She comes into this race 1.5 kilograms better off with Strata. So I'm hoping to see further improvement from her. And then I've looked for one of the bottom weights to throw in. And I think the fact that Red Rose of Lancaster comes back in trip and a set of blinkers goes on, we could see dramatic improvement on her behalf. I mean, her only starts, well, one of her starts at the Kenilworth Straight were one of her better efforts. She ran 4th, 51.5 to shoulder. I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully she can spring a surprise for us. I've included her.
Yes.
But I don't think you really want to rely on her. But you never know. Stranger things have happened, Cecil.
All right. So, yes, and of course, a capable apprentice aboard in the form of Mr. Joshua Solomons. Let's have a look at that first jackpot permutation. That will cost you 96 Rand. And the roughly, the one you want, obviously, to come through for you would be the 11 in race number 3, rather. Race 4, I beg your pardon. That is the first leg of the first jackpot. That is your first jackpot getting underway, race 4. Right, we get into handicaps, and this is a class of 2. It has a benchmark of 60 kgs, and that merit rating equates to 108. It's over the 1,200 meters, a field of 7, and certainly for a midweek meeting, there is some ability in the form of the likes of a Yellow Porsche Road, a Dance Variety, who holds form, one of your co-favorites, in fact, with the one countdown, and that'll be in the colors of Messrs. Banford, Frost, and Luti. But you're the man, Daryl. Certainly a nice race.
Yeah, this is a lovely race. Countdown in his penultimate start in the Cape Merchants. You'll recall, he looked to have that race sewn up.
Yeah.
And there came Craig Zaki on the outside on Cosmic Highway to nab Richard on the line.
Yes. In fact, it looked like he just hung on. Yeah. Even our commentator
Even
thought so.
Alistair thought so, yeah. And then next time out in the Lawrence King's Plate, he overdid it. He was outclassed. Too far for him. Back over a very effective course and distance for him. I think he is a player, yeah. Got a hefty weight to shoulder, though. Yellow Porsche Road. Now, this was one of the few horses to get within a neck of Charles Dickens.
Yes.
He's obviously got his issues, but I think Mr. Marshall's taken his time with him because he knows he's stacked with ability. He's gonna strip even fitter this time round, having his third start. But on paper, there's very little separating himself in Dance Variety, who's holding his form impeccably well. Last time out, Pierre Cornet also gave him a peach of a ride, just timed it perfectly. And you can see Richard Free doing the exact same, so I respect him. I've just gone with one other. I'll make this a very tricky lineup.
Can I guess who that is?
Jerusalem Moraine.
So.
I think his best effort in the Western Cape has been over the course and distance. And now the ratings come even further down and a set of blinkers go on. So, he's run to Sandringham Summit, main defender,
Yes.
a lucky lad.
Lucky lad.
Let's hope he doesn't fall into that category of not having trained on.
Yes.
But his ratings coming down and blinkers could do the trick.
I remember this horse before it ran was all the talk from the stable, at least people who were connected to the stable saying this horse can run. And as you say, I think it will train on. We saw a nice written run, by the way, from the Sean Terry charge, Cousin Casey on Saturday. So we're looking forward to more from Cousin Casey. Right, so let's have a look at Mr. Marie's jackpot. This is the start of jackpot 2. He's really given us all the exotics and his benefit of his experience and knowledge at 1, 4, 5, 6. And in an ideal world, I think that would be seeing you through that first leg. And then field at the back as he's done in the pick 6. And that is race number 8. Now, race 8 will be a class 4, and that'll be over the 1,800 meters. That's your last jackpot to get underway, race 5. Well, I can share with you why Mr. Marie may look tired, which he's not. It's because he stayed up all night to give us all the exotics that can be played on Tuesday. And the latest one is the pick 3 that starts in race number 6. Now, this is a Cape C stakes. We're back over the 1,000 meters, and it's a field that's been reduced to 9 runners with the scratching of the 4 country time, who was pretty up there in the betting, but that leaves Paula Queen, your favorite, at 26-10, at 28-10, about the 5 with Silver Screen. And then you've got the 8, that is Where's the Party, that is at 15-4. Mr. Marie, is this an open-looking encounter? Because you did go wideish in one of your exotics.
I've gone with the 3 fillies that represent the Silver Screen form line. That's namely herself,
Yes.
Palo Queen, and Karandi.
Uh-huh.
Now, obviously, last time out, Silver Screen put them in their place quite convincingly, Cecil. She was just tracking Palo Queen and she quickened on by, and it was an impressive victory on her behalf. In saying that, Palo Queen, now, I don't know if you recall a few weeks ago, Rachel Veneker rode a winner for Paul Reeves on Hear My Voice.
I missed that.
And I had a look at Rachel's rides over here, and I think the connections have brought her down just for this filly's chances to take the 1.5 kilograms off her back. So I think there's not going to be much separating the two of them this time around because of the swing in the weights. Funny enough, if you go back to the winter rainfall form, she holds Silver Screen quite convincingly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she beat her by 3 odd lengths, and he's better off at the weights. And she beat Where's the Party. But I think Where's the Party got good feedback from Richard Free last time out of the 1,200. He probably said to Mr. Steyn, let's come back to 1,000, put the blinkers on her, and we'll see a better run on her behalf. So she's gone into my play, and Karandi as well, who at her best could feature. So once again, fillies and mares, you can't really stand here and be confident because they meet each other and there's different results time and time again.
Right, the last 2 horses that Mr. Marie pointed out there, that is Where's the Party and Karandi. Please note the last named has got the blinkers removed, and Where's the Party will race with the blinkers on. So equipment changes about numbers 7 and 8. Let's have a look at the suggested pick 3 from Daryl. 3, 5, 7, and 8. So the 7 will race with no blinkers, and the 8 will race with the blinkers on. And then you've got 3 and 4, as was the case in the pick 6 in that penultimate leg and wide at the back. That's your pick 3, starting with race 6, and that'll be our anti-penultimate off at 3:30. Well, the good news is that we have a double to look forward to, courtesy of Mr. Marie. It is the Country Championship Class 3. It's over the 1,400 meters. And, of course, a reminder, once again, you can like us on Twitter or indeed on WhatsApp. We really do appreciate your feedback. And all of the feedback is very much taken on board. So that is Weighted to Win, proudly sponsored by Betway, as we get to the penultimate race number 7. Now, the double is over the 1400 meters, the first leg of the double. And please take note of the jockey change. Craig Zaki on number 9, give me a first for Lady Laidlaw and Kaya Stables PTY Limited, and Dean Calamere, the trainer. Right, 3 and 4 were the numbers that featured prominently in the 7th in all your selections, and you're sticking with that for the double?
I am. Now, Richard Free gets his third opportunity on Montalina. He was very unlucky in the 2 starts that he rode her in the past there. So when she ran second to Palo Queen, I don't know if you recall that race, but when he switched her out, she absolutely took off.
Yes.
And everyone was on her in her next start for their maximums. And I don't think the draw played its part, because she was so well drawn at Durbanville over 1250. He was forced to place her, and she's better left alone and running at her opposition. So I think last time out over the course and distance, she proved she set the record straight, and she's going to progress this filly. She's actually she's better than what her form reflects, because she's been unfortunate in a few of her starts. So I think Richard Free on Montalina is the filly to beat. But if you go back, if you have funds, if you use Fun Zone as a line horse of the year, number 3, My Flower Fate, comes into the reckoning. Now, she's such a stocky daughter of Master My Fate. Everyone thought that maybe the further they go with her, the better she's going to be. And I don't think that's quite the case. I like the fact that she's coming back to the 1400. This filly, she travels so well in her races that she looks dangerous and the likely winner going through the 400 or 2 furlongs from home, and she just flatters to deceive in the latter stages. So maybe coming back to the 1400 is going to be in her favor. I don't think we've seen the best of her yet. She's going to win her races in time to come. I do believe Montalina, of her current rating, is the one to beat. But if there is one that could trouble her, that's My Flower Fate, number 3.
And of course, the horse that beat Montalina came through and ran a cracker again, another second to ripple effect in what was the start of the Rot on Met Day a couple of Saturdays back, and that was an enlisted Olympic Jewel Stakes. So certainly that form line looks even solid with that. Yeah,
Certainly ran a cracking second to Ripple Effect. Yeah.
Yes, Thank you so much. All right, let's have a look at the double that's been suggested by Daryl, and there's no doubt where his loyalties lie on the card on Tuesday, and that is with Montalina. 3 and 4, that is My Flower Fate and Montalina, and then wide at the back, numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. The 1, Cloud Chaser, the 3, Dual Agent, the 4, Busy Lizzie, the 5, that is Catalea, the 6, Family Power, and finally number 8, To a Penny. That is a full look at the exotic opportunities for Tuesday. That is the double. That will be the last chance to get involved in a double at Kenilworth, and that is a meeting that has those 8 races and some nice competitive racing.